What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some wrestling news. And there's no surprise as there's lots of news to report today, so let's get down to business as we look at the latest headlines, including WWE superstar looking to exit the company, a Hall of Famer looking to return, Ronda Rousey's next potential WWE appearance, where NXT could end up airing, and CM Punk has been involved in an altercation with a fan. Let's look at the first story. Is Evolution 2 is a mystery. No, I won't sing this song. Will they or won't they? That's the question fans of the WWE's all-female pay-per-view Evolution have about the chances for a second show. According to Dave Meltzer, the biggest concern is Ronda Rousey's absence. He told, "I think that there's a fear that without Ronda Rousey, then maybe, for whatever reason, if they do or don't do that pay-per-view, that is a purely economic business decision either way they go. This is not a moral issue if they don't do an all-women pay-per-view, okay? If you want to do it, then they want to do it, that's all. The show was great last year, but just because it was great doesn't mean you have to do it this year. Obviously it wasn't so great business-wise because they didn't put it on the schedule this year, but the fact that you want to be a champion in women's sports and you make a deal with Saudi Arabia, you don't have the courage or convictions. Considering the problems the WWE have had selling tickets for pay-per-views, what's the risk in booking a second Evolution pay-per-view? It's difficult to believe it'd fare any worse than Stomping Grounds or some of the WWE SmackDown Live events. However, the WWE's conservative approach to operating its business makes it unlikely it will air another Evolution pay-per-view this year if there's the slightest chance of failure. That doesn't rule out a possible WWE Network special though. Our second story looks at whether Rey Mysterio is going to AEW. While there hasn't been any talk of the Master of the 619 going to All Elite Wrestling, wrestling's favourite curmudgeon Dave Meltzer recently commented on the way Rey is being booked in the WWE, largely to get younger talent over, and on the likelihood of Mysterio joining All Elite Wrestling. He mentioned, if they're gonna treat him like this, they'll die if he goes to AEW. He'll go there in a heartbeat and they won't abuse him there because those guys love him. So it's kinda like, what are you doing? According to Blake Ostreicher, when Mysterio re-signed with WWE last fall, he did so on a very unique contract that includes a rare opt-out clause after 18 months, one that would likely give the high-flying superstar the option to leave the company at some point just before WrestleMania 36 next April. However, as we discussed in our Raw recap this week, Rey Mysterio's losing streak may be a way for WWE to plan on bringing in Mysterio's son Dominic into wrestling. Our next story looks at another WWE star leaving, and he really means it this time. This one has been talked about so much that it's right up there with the boy who cried wolf. Once again, there's lots of talk that not only is the Bulgarian brute Rusev still talking about leaving the WWE, but that his contract is almost up. While no one seems to know the last day for Rusev's contract, we do know he's been on a leave of absence. Not too long ago, Rusev appeared on Lillian Garcia's Chasing Glory podcast to express his dissatisfaction. That's what irks me, is that I do all these things but nothing changes. That's where the frustration comes. So what am I supposed to do then? I'm just trying something, this or that, to try and catch Vince's eye. Something we go, we pitch, we talk, he just never comes to anything. I keep pushing for it to be my time and I keep talking to everybody but nobody wants to do anything. It's very frustrating, because I don't know what it is holding me back, to be honest. I really don't. According to Forbes' Blake Ostreicher, Lana is trying to persuade Rusev to re-sign with the WWE. Ringside News recently noted Rusev's new look as well, with the muscle man having shaved his beard and grown a moustache, reminiscent of the late great ravishing Rick Rude. Hopefully he's not moving into Bobby Roode's territory. But that could be one WWE superstar leaving, but what about a return? A rated R return? No, we're not talking about the WWE's content rating, but WWE Hall of Famer Edge, aka the rated R superstar. Edge recently returned to the WWE at SummerSlam when he speared Elias, leading to fans wondering what Edge's physical condition is. You may recall Edge had to retire due to neck issues, but has since been keeping busy with acting gigs and his podcast along former tag team partner Christian. Recently, Edge said he's ready to return to the ring, but can't get clearance from the WWE. Nonetheless, he's striving to get back into shape and commented on his podcast that, "I did have a doctor tell me he thinks they'll be able to basically get my neck relatively healthy within 5 years. And then there's stem cells, which I'm also looking into. Just from the stuff I've experienced in the last 8 years and the things I've done physically, it's like I could pull off one. I'm not saying I could pull off a year's worth, I'm sure you could too. An Edge return could help the WWE as the fans can't seem to get enough of their favourite stars from the past. Even a one-year program could benefit the WWE as Edge decides to ride out in a blaze of glory to make up for his abrupt exit from the ring in 2011. Our next story? Riddle me this, Vince. NXT's Matt Riddle is no stranger to controversy, taking to social media to attack wrestling legends such as Bill Goldberg and making a nuisance of himself. Riddle's love of marijuana also makes him somewhat controversial, which begs the question why the WWE hired this talented but troublesome grappler. Look, Matt's one of those guys who should be on the main roster now and be a superstar. But who knows how this thing works out. WWE was afraid of Matt because of the pot, and they were at a point where they were never going to sign him, and New Japan wasn't going to sign him for the same reason, and all of a sudden New Japan was like, okay, we're going to sign him. And then all of a sudden, WWE wanted him. Because I think everyone knew that he could blow up, and it was like, if he's not going to New Japan and AEW didn't exist at this point, then we don't need to sign him. It's like, do we want another Kenny Omega to come along? Not saying he's Kenny Omega, because he's not, but there is potential there, because he's only been in the business for a couple of years, and he's got a unique charisma. We'll just have to see what happens to Matt's career, but he's definitely somebody everybody talks about. As we noted in an earlier video, Riddle reportedly ran into Bill Goldberg backstage at SummerSlam, but fortunately, Big Bill kept things civil. Riddle seems to be the latest in a long list of wrestlers Vince McMahon is signing just to keep them away from the competition. Will Vinnie Mac end up on an episode of Hoarders? He may if he keeps signing talent without using them. Our next story looks at Rowdy Roddy Piper's legacy living on, as Women of Wrestling, aka WOW, announced that Teal Piper, the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer Rowdy Roddy Piper, has signed with the promotion. WOW recently issued a press release that Teal Piper, daughter of beloved pro wrestling trailblazer Rowdy Roddy Piper, is the newest superhero to join WOW's expanding roster. Piper will make her professional wrestling debut for WOW at its September 18th and 19th live events in Los Angeles at the Belasco Theatre. Following in the footsteps of fellow wrestling legend and current WOW champion Tessa Blanchard, who signed with the promotion in 2018, Piper expects to make her mark by delivering bombastic promo skills that not only resembles her father's famous persona, but will surely create a new generation of Piper fans. Roddy's daughter commented that wrestling has always been a part of me, and while no one can ever replace my dad, I hope to make sure no one ever forgets him. What about Rowdy Ronda though? Will she be able to carry on the gimmick now that his daughter is taking over? Also, Netflix finishes shooting the first WWE Studios film. While you may have heard the WWE's upcoming Netflix comedy series The Big Show Show, you may not know that WWE Studios collaborated with Netflix to produce a film as well. According to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, the main event tells the story of a 10-year-old boy who is bullied but dreams of growing up to become a WWE professional wrestler. However, he gets to live his dream earlier when he discovers a magical luchador mask and naturally becomes involved with WWE NXT. WWE NXT star Babatunde has been cast in the role of the lead villain of the film. NXT star Keith Lee will have a tremendously important and large role in the film. One source noted that they wouldn't be surprised to see Lee get a big push timed with the release of the film. Also, a few tidbits before we move on to our main story, as rumour has it that Fox Sports 1's commitment to airing Big East basketball could spoil the WWE's desire to air NXT on FS1. However, the WWE is apparently considering the USA Network as a possible home in its bid to bring NXT to a cable outlet on a night which conveniently is at the same time as WWE's new competitor AEW. Don't think WWE is serious about this war? Well, type in WednesdayNightWar.com with no spaces in your search bar, and you'll be led to NXT. There's also rumours that Ronda Rousey might appear on SmackDown's 20th anniversary, which happens to be the same night it premieres on Fox, especially since the baddest woman on the planet will be appearing on Fox's 911 drama series. And our main story of today is that CM Punk was involved in another fan altercation. CM Punk was recently providing commentary for the Cage Fury Fighting Championships MMA event when an apparently unruly fan upset the straight edge superstar. According to Ringside News, during the CFFC event last night, a fan got too close for comfort. During the event, you hear Punk say on commentary, "Bro, you need to back the f*** up." Then his broadcast partner informed fans that they might have a situation. The camera panned over and CM Punk was seen speaking to officials as this fan was escorted out of the building. After returning to his commentary position, CM Punk said, "I'm sitting here with a headset, I'm doing my job, and he did exactly what you're doing right now. He screams bullshit in my face." This isn't the first time Punk has had to deal with fans getting too close for comfort, and Punk wisely lets security handle things rather than risking a lawsuit, or another MMA loss for that matter. But there you have it guys, all your wrestling news for today. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.